Nisan is the month of Passover, the holiday celebrating our freedom from Egypt. As such, at a funeral during Nisan, a full eulogy is not given. The communal celebration and optimism of the year partially overrides our obligation to mourn. However, we can praise the good in the deceased and inspire others to follow in their footsteps. And that is what I'd like to share with you today. When I was about to get married, I asked my father why he married my mother. What trait attracted you to her? Without hesitating for a second, he responded, she has a kind heart. As life moved on, I came to realize that kind people are life's treasures. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel said, when I was young, I admired clever people. Now that I am old, I admire kind people. I too have learned to admire kind people. And there was no one kinder, sweeter, and more gentle than my mother. Warmth radiated from her being. You couldn't help but be attracted to her gentleness and sweet soul. You would expect her son to say that, but for those who knew Mom, you knew how true those words were. Growing up, I remember plumbers, painters, and handymen coming to our home. After they would do that task, they would stay, sometimes for a few hours. They would sit down at the kitchen table and have coffee with Mom. I didn't realize how unique that was until I got married. My wife Ellen called me and said, I just spoke to your mom one morning, and she said, your mom needed to call me back. Ellen turned to me and said, you wouldn't believe it. Your mom can't speak now because she's having coffee with the plumber. I smiled and told her nothing surprising about that at all. That's just the way people reacted around Mom. Each week when she would come back from buying groceries from ShopRite, Mom would have another story of someone she met. It would be at the fruit section, the frozen foods, or some other part of the store. Total strangers would gravitate to her and start having conversations with her. I personally witnessed this on more than one occasion. If you want to know if someone's a good person, just watch how children and dogs react around them. Both dogs and kids can pick up on very subtle cues to determine if they're around someone they can trust. Based on that, my mother was a great person. She would genuinely be interested in what they said and gave them 100% attention. She would interact with them in a way that made them feel loved, special, and safe. Mom's next door neighbor's children called her Nana. My nieces and nephews from the Mishon side called her Grandma Janice. Even my mother's neighbor's dog, Roy, loved her. He would run into the house so excited to see her. When walking down her block, my dog Riley would pull me to her house. He loved Mom. Who did? Mom was so special in so many ways. She laughed easily, especially at herself. She had a story for any topic that would come up in a conversation. Mom appreciated the simple things in life, like having coffee and reading a newspaper, a beautiful sunny day like today, and visits with her family and friends. Raising 4 boys, she longed for a daughter and was blessed with 3 daughter-in-laws. She loved her daughter-in-laws like her own, and they loved her back. In fact, Mom would always take the side of my wife against me. I would protest and say, but Ma, and she'd respond, listen to your wife, she knows better. And she was right. Watching my wife Ellen these last few difficult days in the hospital, holding Mom's hand, caressing her face, speaking soothingly to her was so comforting. The love Mom had knew no bounds. Growing up, our house was always the center for family dinners for both the Mizrahis and the Baskets. My fondest memories are having Passover Seder's, Thanksgiving, Purim, in fact, all holidays around Mom's dining room table. Although she'd be tired, the smile on her face would last for days. She loved being around her family, and she couldn't get enough of them. Just last week, she told me that she was so excited my daughter Janice was flying in from Israel with her 2 children, Jude and Meir. Mom couldn't wait to see them. It's been so long because of travel restrictions due to COVID. She would FaceTime them often, and my grandchildren adored her. She said she was going to have all the grandchildren and great-grandchildren over to our house. Although she was feeling weak and tired, it wouldn't stop her. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Mom's friends were so important and special to her. Many of her friends were lifetime ones. They were friends she met in kindergarten, high school, and the first years of marriage. She loved them, and they loved her back. They helped each other through life's tough patches. She knew she could count on them, and they never let her down. Especially my Aunt Molly, my father's sister. For more than 60 years, Aunt Molly was my mom's source of strength, encouragement, and practical advice. She was able to confide and trust in her, and they loved each other dearly. My father was the exact opposite of my mother. He was outgoing, loved social events, and doing things at the drop of a hat. Mom liked staying home, tolerated social events, and procrastinated when she was taken out of her comfort zone, especially when he wanted to take her to Florida. They made a great team. She recently told Aunt Molly how much she missed my father. And if she had to do it all again, she wouldn't change one thing. And now the final chapter of a beautiful life has come to an end. Mom, I always thought there'd be more time. You're always so strong. I came fighting back. I thought this time would be no exception. We got the news on Sunday that there was nothing that could be done. My world can crash down. I'm going to miss stopping by you each trip out on my way home from shul. Sitting down in your living room and talking to you about everything and anything. Listening to your stories that happened during the week and sharing your laughter. I'm going to miss seeing how happy you were when you would see your grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I'm so sad that they wouldn't have you in their lives. But rest peacefully, Mom, knowing we will share your stories and how much you love them. Early this morning, right after my brother Danny called, who has not slept in the past 5 days and has been at her side every single night. I went for a long walk. tears, I kept thinking of all the wonderful memories and how we were blessed, truly blessed to have such a wonderful, selfless mother. I passed by your house. The sun was shining. It smelled like spring. I looked at the porch. I saw two chairs. For a brief second, I could have sworn I saw you and Daddy sitting next to each other, waving and smiling. I pray you both rest peacefully, knowing you built a family that is so grateful, thankful, and blessed. Mom, I can never thank you enough for the sacrifices you made for us. And thank you for the love you showered on us, which at times was undeserved or underappreciated, but still given with full heart.
Those who didn't know, my grandma Janice was a nurse, or so I believed until I was 16 years old. When I was a little girl, I fell on my back porch and was inconsolable. My father brought me inside and told me that grandma is a nurse and she'll make you feel better. Miraculously, I was fine after that. For 16 years, I actually believed she was a nurse and had told others. After finding out the truth, I understand why I believed it all these years. Grandma was as nurturing, loving, and caring, just as a nurse is. In every area of her life, her love shone through. She loved Grandpa with all her heart. She always spoke about the love she had for her parents, especially Grandpa Louie, who she has missed for so many years. Her love for her sisters was indescribable. Her 4 boys were her entire life. She put her all into raising them and being the best mom she could be. Lastly, her love for her grandchildren and great-grandchildren is indescribable. She has given me parenting advice every day and has taught me what it is to be a mom, especially a boy mom. She has encouraged me to savor every single moment with my Yael being so small and cuddly. I was fortunate enough to be able to share in so many experiences with Grandma. I was able to stay by her in Florida for a couple of years on vacation, where we got the opportunity to always relax and talk for hours. I love those days also in Brooklyn, where I would just stop by her house and she'd have an entire meal set up for me. I was also able to take her for some of her weekly blood tests too, where she always remained so positive. She used to be so excited to make a day out of it, go for lunch. Grandma, I'll never forget that lucky day where we were sitting in traffic by the tunnel and the policewoman saw us and opened up that empty lane just for us to go through. I remember laughing the whole way through with you, not even believing our luck. We have FaceTime these past couple of months for hours beyond hours. I feel that Corona has taken away from our ability to spend so much time together in person, but we meet at work to the best of our ability. I would FaceTime with you every day when Yael was eating dinner and you'd sing and talk to him. He's definitely going to miss you and hearing you pronounce his name, Yoel. Grandma has taught me to never rush through life. Enjoy every minute. She was the ultimate procrastinator in the best way possible. One of my favorite stories was when I came over on Pesach and she offered me chocolate chip biscotti. I took a bite and noticed there were no chocolate chips. I asked, what's the deal? Where are the chocolate chips? She's like, yeah, it's chocolate chip biscotti, but they were too hot. The chocolate chips were too high on the shelf, so I just made them without it. Grandma has battled with cancer, knee replacements, heart complications, and much more. She was such a warrior, and she always had Grandpa, the best companion, by her side, cheering her on. Since he passed away, she had a huge gap in her heart. She missed him, and she's now reunited with him. You were really his Echetayo. During these tough and challenging times, my dad has shown me what Kibbutz Avayim really is. He has worked tirelessly to keep her healthy and has brought her to every doctor under the sun. He has fought to the best of his ability to do what was best for her. I aspire to have the same respect and love that he's had for her. And Grandma, I know that you appreciated all that he's done for you. I was lucky enough to be able to speak to you the other day when I thought you were supposed to be sleeping. You got on the phone and I was shocked. I didn't get, sorry. I couldn't find any other words to say other than I love you, and I couldn't stop crying. Grandma, you were so calm. All you were saying, why are you crying? I'm going to be okay. And you were the one to comfort me, even at the end of your life. We love you so much. We're going to miss you, and we can't wait to continue your legacy.
להגיד ישר אדוני סורי ולא עוולת אבו, אדוני נתן ואדוני לקח ישם, אדוני מבורך, והוא רחום מכפר עוון ולא ישחית, והרבה להשיב הטוב ורעי כל חמתו, היא נפשה סרורת צרור החיים, הנה תביתי. One more. أحوتين وآت متعرف لك متعرف لك متعرف لك شريف لك شريف لك شريف لك محلم لك محلم لك محلم لك إن كان لدريد إن كان شبهات إن كان كبالوت إن كان السورين إن كان كنموت إن كان ألوت إن كان كلالوت كلهم يجوا بدليل مضطرين عجبين كحارس النشبار تبع الشام بوبامات شبهين مشفقين لا شريرين بلا قيامين شام يسكيموا بيتيروا لا بتيش الماطة كاخ يسكيموا بيتيروا لا بتيش المالا سرع عبونيك حتى دير الحفار محوتين واد متعرف لك متعرف لك متعرف لك شريم لك شريم لك شريم لك محلم لك محلم لك محلم لك إن كان لدريم إن كان شبهات إن كان كبالوت كان السورين إن كان كنموت إن كان ألوت إن كان كلالوت كلهم يجوا بدليل مضطرين عجبين كحارس النشبار تبع الشام بوبامات شبهين مشفقين لا شريرين بلا قيامين شام يسكيموا بيتيروا لا بتيش الماطة كان يسكيموا بيتيش المالا سرع عبونيك حتى دير الحفار محوتين واد متعرف لك متعرف لك متعرف لك شريم لك شريم لك شريم لك محلم لك محلم لك محلم لك إن كان لدريد إن كان شبهات إن كان كبالوت إن كان السورين إن كان كنموت إن كان ألوت إن كان كلالوت كلهم يجوا بدليل مضطرين محجوبين كحارس الأشبال تبع الشام بوبامات شام يجوا مشركين شريرين بلا قيامين شام يسكيموا بيتيروا تيش الماطة كاخ يسكيموا تيش المالا سرع عبونيك حتى دير الحفار حسيقة تيش حسيقة تيش كذا بيتدا شبير الله بعد مدي بأكروتي بيمين حقوتي اسمع كل كاري بكاري بشي بحي القول يوم القول حيد القول بيت إسرائيل عجلة ما كاري بيت روحانين
هني يشتري بام برا
يهي شبير الله ببراق تعلم عن مياه المياه براق الشفاح بيطار بيطمع بيتنسي بيتدا بيتعلي بيتداش بيدك شابريكو لعلة بكون بحدا شرطات بحدا برحمتات لا بحضر عالما بيه Some ask forgiveness from hand the next time. Go ahead, up with that. We need a lot of people. They say they can. عيشت حيني صابر حق لو يكتب على الصوت نور حياة دارنا صبر في فتاة صاحب السفير عيدا كوني Be careful.
What on the stake? Yeah, come on, come on, come on. One stake. Okay.
Okay. Brother. Okay, I'll hold the stick. Okay, I'll hold the stick. Push up. Straight. That's good. Now, two people hold that from there, two people from here. Strong people, hold that up. Hold up. You have to stand here on the top of the stone. Who is holding it?
Go Leon last two, please.
Okay, up. So you go up. Be careful. Up. Okay, now right up, slowly. Sorry. Send another shovel to him, please. Don't give it to hand, okay? No, don't be. Drop it down. Careful, be careful your legs. It's empty. Be careful, my friend here. All around. Wash your feet, Andrew. Thank you very much.
Want to do it?
Come to take a picture. כל העולם אדוני, מחיה מתים את רב להושיע, מחלקר חיים בחפץ, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ברופא חונים, מתיר אסורים, קיים אמונתו לפני עבר, וכמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית חיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך מחיה המתים, יתגדל ויתפתח שמי רבה, ועתדים ולחצותיו, ועדים חצותיו, מה קורבני ויקרב ותפת, וחיי כל יום כל חיי דקות בית ישראל, העגלה ומקרים ואמרו אמן. שמי רבה וברך לעולם נענה עניה יתברך ושתפח ויתברך, נאמר מתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלת ודקדושה בריחו, ואלה מכל חדש שירתה השבחתה ונחמתה, אדם גם לעל ואמרו אמן. We do Shabbat for man, then we do woman, then we do all that. Actually, he's the Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. Not Shem Hashem Tov, Yom Mavet Yom Valedo. Tov Tabarak Kol Nishma, Ita Elohim Yarav Zokar Shemot, Yizlei Kol Adam. يعرفوا حاسدين بخبر لن يعمل شيئا مرحم عن كل يوتاب يحوز بأحوال يرحم عن نفش روح وشما كريسحاق بن بهية بغم نفش الفاضل حياة بن من الشيء any other man بغم نفش شاول بن سمحة بغم نفش داوود بن استر إسحاق مئير بن سيف بغم نفش أبراهام بن بهية موشي بن بهية بغم نفش إلياhu يعقوب بن بهية موشي بن سارة بغم نفش رفائيل بن استر بغم نفش فينا روح أدوناي تنيحان بغن عيدت حين بخمسة شهور بغمنا بسنة رسول بنمار آمين كشف حي بنصرح الصليب مفرح لكرحين بغن الأيوبي الشايرة الثلاث ينوران فريها ليها بنو الشعرين مع فيها أم رحيم على الكل بريوتاب يحوز يحمول برحيم عن نفش روح وإنشاء هير مادر Your mother, Hildabat, Golda, Hildabat Golda, Negam Nefesh, any other woman. Sophia Batzakiye, Negam Nefesh, Sarah Batzahiye, Rachel Batzahiye, Alice Batzahiye, Matthew Ben Sudan, Simha Batzahiye, Frida Hilda. روح أدوناي تنيحان بغن عيدن حين بخطاء شوق واللمام لكن يرسوم بين ومار أمين اجد حين ينصد رحوك بنين مفراق لكن رحيل إبل يوبي الشايرة والسلام يدون تريها زي وشعر معصيها رحيم عن كود يوتاب وزي أحوال برحيم عني بشوح مشامات شاكي شراء وكيف بديجة روح أدوناي تنيحين بغن عيدن إذا خوز إسرائيل الشوق واللمام لكن يهي رسول بين ومار أمين. Want to do the Qur'an? Baruch. Amen. You change your shoes if you have a leather shoes on. Next. Amen. Now, whoever have leather shoes, go change it home. You have to go home to do the Sauda, the eggs and the bread. And you sit down. What's the address sitting down? 1837 East 4, Shahri, 730 من حان عربي, 645. تنحاموا من الشماي, محوطة من No, but
It's God gives you. That makes put over by like how much it's 2 years. Right? What you get? I get a
Yeah.